Hey, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the fall activities book tag. I actually saw this one on Shelley's channel at Percy Does Everything. She wasn't sure who originated it, but I will link her channel below so you can check her out because I thought this tag was seemed like a lot of fun. So if you want to see the fall activities book tag, just keep watching. First one is apple picking, a book on your TBR that looks so delicious you can't wait to take a bite out of it. Dangerous Alliance by, I think it's Jenneke Cohen, and this one is like it says an ostentatious novel, so it's one that's like based off of like a Jane Austen novel, or it's like a retelling of or something like that. So this one just seemed like a fun little like twist, I guess, on like Jane Austen. So this one I can't wait to get to. It's definitely one on my TBR that I was like excited about. The second prompt is Corn Maze, a book that's so much fun to get lost in. I chose The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I absolutely loved this book. It's definitely a cute one to get lost in. It's, you know, magical, fantasy, fun little kids running around. So it's definitely adorable. Number 3 is Haunted Houses, a book that scared you silly. And the one I chose is A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreight. This one, books don't really scare me. I don't really read a lot of books that are like horror or anything like that, so this is the one I could think of. So this one is like a domestic thriller, and so that's kind of why it's scary. The way the character that you know has died was very like just brutal and sad, and so like that's why it was scary. So the next one is number 4, and that is Pumpkin Patch. And it's the latest book you picked up or purchased, or the most recent one I got is The Dead Romantics. Again, this one is pretty popular on BookTube, and it is by Ashley Poston. I believe it's about Florence, who is a ghostwriter, and then she sees, who is it? Her editor, and he ends up being dead and like a ghost at her family's funeral home, and it's kind of like a love story, like a ghost love story. So it seems fun, and it was my most recent purchase. Number 5 is Scenic Drives, a book that is lyrically beautiful. And so the one that I could think of was Circe by Madeline Miller. I listened to this one on audio, and it definitely is a beautiful read, and I really enjoyed that one, and it's a retelling of Circe. Next one is number 6, and that one is Pumpkin Carving, a book you didn't like and wouldn't mind carving up. And the one I chose for that one is Majesty by Catherine McGee. This is the second one in like her American Royals novels, or her American Royals series. I did not like this one simply because in the first book they built up all this like tension and what was happening, and then none of it like completely backfired in this book. Like it completely changed. So like what I thought was going to happen completely didn't happen. Like I was like, what is this book? There is a third one. I don't know if I will give it another shot. We'll see, but it definitely wasn't one of my favorites. Number 7 is Hiking, a book that was a highly enjoyable romp. And that one I chose Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. This one is a fun one. This one was fun because it's about Medi, and Medi kind of like works in the same business, or has a business with like her mom and her aunties, and they set her up on like a blind date, and the blind date ends up going like horribly wrong, and then he ends up dead. And so like they're about to go do a wedding because they all do like their business is like 4 weddings. One is a photographer, one does the cake, one does like I think the fashion aspect or like the hair and the makeup. And so like they all do this together and then they have to hide this dead body at this wedding. And so it was definitely full of like hijinks and fun antics. So it's definitely a highly enjoyable romp. Number 8 is Drinking Apple Cider, a sweet book to curl up under the covers with. The one I chose for that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I absolutely just love this book. And it's a good one to read underneath the covers and just reading about, you know, Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet. So number 9 is Jumping in a Leaf Pile, and that's a book that reminds you of your childhood. And the one I chose for that is In the Hall with the Knife by Diana Peterfrund. And this one just reminds me of my childhood because it's like based off the game Clue, and I played that as a kid and I really enjoyed that game, so this one kind of reminded me of my childhood in that way. So number 10 is Scary Movie Night, your favorite spooky read. And so the one I chose for that is Final Girls by Riley Sagar. I chose this one because it is like a thriller. I don't really get scared in books. I'm more a scaredy cat when it comes to movies. But this one was one that I just kind of felt like scared about because I was like, oh my gosh, this is how the plot is going. Like I started to see like what was happening towards the end and I was like, oh no. So it was scary in that way. Number 11, and it's our bonus, and it's Costume Party, a book with an eclectic cast of characters. And the one I chose for that was The Diviners by Libba Bray. I know this one is set in like, I think it's the 1920s, and it definitely has like a magical realism to it. You know, one of the characters can like touch an object and see things. Other characters have like some kind of like magical or like abilities, and then something comes back from like the dead, and they have to like work together, this entire cast of characters, to kind of save the city. So I thought it was a good one. Definitely has an eclectic cast of characters, and it's actually really good, like atmospheric read to read during the fall. So that was the fall activities book tag. Again, I saw this one on Shelley's channel over at Percy Does Everything. I really enjoyed that tag, so I figured I'd give it a shot. I'll link her channel below, and I'll just talk to you all later. Like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to. Bye!